Alright, so today we're going to be breaking down Ravi Abuvala's $846,000 per month sales funnel. I'm not going to try to sound smart here by using any kind of fancy words or anything like that. I'm just going to give you the exact value you came to this video for, which is to know exactly how he gets traffic, nurtures that traffic, and then converts that traffic into paying customers. I'm going to be breaking down his TikTok, his Instagram, his YouTube, his separate funnel for Google Ads and Meta Ads. I'm going to be breaking down his X funnel, his entire scaling with systems funnel, and of course his scaling school funnel separately as well. I'm going to be breaking all of those down within the single video. So anyways, without any further ado, I don't want to waste any of your time, so let's just get straight into it. I'm going to first of all start off with his TikTok at about 14,000 followers, 216,000 likes, everything we've learned growing from 0 to 25 million plus. This is actually going to be linking to his scalingwithsystems.com scaling school, so it's not going to be linking at all to his main social medias, or sorry, his main offer, which is scaling with systems, but instead it's going to be linking to his info offer, which is actually his coaching with scaling school. I'll get into all of this in a quick second, and I'm going to get into why he's doing this as well. Now, for the actual content on the TikTok, he's not getting a lot of views at all. He's getting like 500, 900. He's not at all going viral on the TikTok, but he's pretty much like, he's very consistent with it, and he's trying to go viral here. Now, I'm pretty sure he started very recently, so he didn't really do this too much. So he started pretty recently, so that's probably also another reason. But of course, the main reason is TikTok's algorithm. TikTok is an extremely unforgiving algorithm, and the way it works is kind of like an upside down pyramid. So it'll kind of push your videos out to this block of people, this block of people. Then it'll keep on expanding these blocks more and more and more until it hits a group of people that hate your content and stop watching it, at which point it's going to kick you out instantly. But the problem is that most of the time, since TikTok is so strict, it'll just kick out content right here and at these two first levels, which is where Ravi is being kicked out right here. So it is extremely strict as an algorithm, and it's extremely, like, it will not cut any corners and will instantly dump your video even if it is slightly bad. That's why TikTok is really bad at nurturing, and it almost never shows your content to your followers, which is what you would want with nurturing. But it is really good overall at just getting a lot of views, because when something is actually good, it will push it to the stars, brother. It'll push in millions and millions of views. That's why a lot of people are trying to spec into TikTok, because it's just generally so good of a platform. Now, anyways, after we finish glazing TikTok, let's get into the main Instagram funnel as well. This is the most important part of his funnel at 123,000 followers. Well, not really the most important part. I'd say YouTube is the most important part of his funnel, but this is the next most important part. Ravi Abuvala, helping businesses scale to 5 to 10 sales calls per day using YouTube. 100% done for you. Now, this is his whole promise. And now what you want to do here is you want to give your main promise of your business, then you want to give your social proof, and then at the bottom you want to have a quick CTA. I was not able to press the more button here, my bad, but here there's a CTA that's going to tell you go work with him by going to the link below in Scaling with Systems. And this is where it's actually going to link. This is going to be done for you service from the Instagram. That's where the Instagram is actually linking. Now, on the Instagram, he's getting way more success. As you can see, he's really big on Instagram at around, he's getting 14,000 to 15,000, 5,000 views every singular reel. And on his pin videos, he has about 18,000 and 300,000 views, respectively. Now, for the pin videos, the main strategy that he's following is something I like to call, well, more of a like and trust, right? So LK strategy, or not LK, LT strategy. This is like an incomplete version of my personal strategy, which is the KLT strategy, which is know, like, and trust. But the LT strategy is kind of like a light version of this, right? So this basically means that he wants one video that gets people to like him and one video that gets people to trust him massively. The way he's doing this is, as you can see, a big ass case study right here, and then a quick video that gets people to like him over here. These two videos accomplish both of those goals, and they're very, very short, both of them. As you can see, the video that wants people to like him will get way more views, obviously, because it's just more engaging. Nobody really cares about case studies unless they're bottom of funnel. But for the bottom of funnel people that are clicking on his page, they are really going to be interested in this case study kind of video. That's why it's so powerful, because it's just a up-to-date case study that is going to get way more people to convert as much as physically possible. Now, for the normal content, he's mostly making content on his boat, where somebody asks him a question and then he answers those questions for the audience. A lot of the time, it's just going to be that same exact type of content. Sometimes he changes it up, does it on his dining table, etc., etc., etc. He might also sometimes clip his content. He used to do this actually like edited and stuff like that content, but now he switched over to this boat question answering type of content, and it's seeming to get him quite a few results. So I mean, as sport, it makes sense. And I've not really seen a lot of people do this before, but of course, if it's working for him, that makes a lot of sense. And it seems like he has a pretty well thought out Instagram funnel. Now, from the Instagram, where does he actually want you to go? So there's two places where you can mainly go. This is indirectly, by the way. So when I say that people are moving people from the Instagram to the YouTube, it's not actually like directly. The reason they move from the Instagram to the YouTube is because the bottom of funnel viewers, they move to the YouTube because they're interested in seeing more about Ravi. And the other bottom of funnel viewers that are more inclined to consume text content, they move to X. So I'm going to break down both of these platforms real quick. I'll break down the YouTube first. On the YouTube, he has 106,000 followers or subscribers, and I'd bet you right now he's making 80% of his money off of YouTube because YouTube is just the best platform for nurturing. Now, I've been talking about nurturing quite a bit, but what actually is it? Now, nurturing just basically comes down to something I like to call the 7-11-4 rule. The basic idea of nurturing is having people see your face as much as physically possible. And the 7-11-4 rule, which is something I coined, is something that stands for 7 hours of content consumed, 11 different touch points, and 4 different locations. What that basically means is that people need to consume 7 hours of your content across 11 different touch points, across 4 different locations to actually buy something from you online. Now, the way this would work is that people would want to watch 7 of your videos, or let's say your videos are 10 minutes long. They would have to watch about 6 times 7, which means round about 42 videos before they were nurtured enough to buy your stuff. That's why longer videos on YouTube and even on Instagram are going to convert way better than these shorter videos that Ravi is doing. So I really recommend to make his videos way longer. Now, for 11 different touch points, this just basically means that they need to consume that 7 hours of content across different videos, across different pieces of content, basically. Now, the way they do this is mostly through the Reels, right? The reason that Reels and these Instagram-only funnels work so well is because they have so many touch points for people to consume at all times. They just keep churning out content super fast, and that means that people can consume like infinite amounts of content before they buy. And this touch points parameter, the interesting thing about the 7-11-4 rule is that the touch points parameter is actually proportional or inversely proportional to the 7-hour rule. And what that means is that basically when 7 hours of content is consumed, you need to consume 11 different touch points, right? But let's say only 4 hours of content is consumed, then you would need to consume more like 22 touch points, right? 22 to 30 touch points to fulfill that exact lack of hours consumed. And it can go the other way around too. So if you consume 30 different touch points on your Instagram or your YouTube or whatever, then they would only need more like 4 or 5 hours of content consumed. And this is one of the biggest reasons that a lot of people mess up with the 7-hour rules or 7-11-4 rule. They think that it's not proportional at all, but the more touch points you can get, the less amount of time they need to consume your content. But I personally love just making them consume as much content as physically possible because that results in way more benefits that are under the hood that a lot of people won't be able to see. And if I was going into them right now, it would take me all day basically. But a few of them I can name is just people being more familiar with you, people being more comfortable with you, etc., etc., etc. All of that stuff is only going to be achieved through long form content. So long form content is still the king of nurturing. But again, if you have a short form content funnel, it can still work. So it's not the end of the world for you. But anyways, for the actual content that Ravi is consuming, on the For You page or the home page, this is his VSL. YouTube's now on easy mode for business owners. This is his YouTube VSL. This basically just is a video that is designed to sell people on YouTube and the idea of YouTube being super good, which of course is going to get them to be like, hey, YouTube seems like a really good platform. I should watch more of Ravi's content so that I can learn more about it and maybe buy his stuff later. Next, how to build and scale a hilariously profitable 100K a month plus business. This is probably his most popular playlist that he just plopped on here, and that's a good idea for you guys if you're following along at home. If you want to deck out your YouTube homepage, you can just put your best performing playlist onto your YouTube homepage so that people will get nurtured and I guess see your best performing content first, and that makes sure that hey, they get the best first impression of your brand as physically possible. Next, the videos themselves are about 8 to 10 minutes, 8 to 15 minutes long. They're very short overall compared to other pieces of content in the same exact niche. A lot of the time, they're just like advice of mindset, sales, or marketing. All right. So they're mostly just those exact things. He kind of sometimes recaps his funnels right here, and of course right here. Other times he does this lifestyle stuff, which is just going to be why every entrepreneur is leaving Miami, or this TRT one. And then other times he literally just do mindset stuff, for example, over here and over here. And then lastly, there's going to be the bottom of funnel case study type things. This is exactly one of those videos. It seems like a top of funnel video, but it's actually a lifestyle, or sorry, a case study slash bottom of funnel video, because the reason is just because when they see this mastermind thing, the main goal for the mastermind video is to get people to be like, hey, this sounds like a really sick mastermind. I should go and get it, right? I should go and attend it. It seems super valuable, etc., etc., etc. Now, other than the YouTube content, for the actual links and where he's trying to get you to go from the YouTube, is actually going to be the scaling.systems or scaling with systems website. And this is his first funnel, right? I'm going to get into this right now. Now, for his scaling with systems funnel, as you can see, get clients from YouTube, 100% done for you. 2,000 plus businesses successfully served. For the VSL, it's very basic. It's about 5 to 10 minutes long. And the main thing is that he calls out what the audience wants. So if you want to create a profitable business, or if you want to create a profitable YouTube channel, he then calls that out, then goes into the pain points. He then goes into social proof. And then, of course, that's the basic skeleton of every single VSL. If you guys do want any more in-depth guides on how to make a VSL like this, I have a whole video on my channel that basically breaks down VSLs entirely. Just go and check it out. It's called, I'm not sure. Just you can search up AI VSLs combo skills on YouTube and it should come up. And as you can see, he has excellent reviews on Trustpilot. The reason that this works way better than those fake 5-star reviews that a lot of you guys have on your website is just because Trustpilot is way more familiar to people, because it's more believable, just because more people have it, right? So if you just, I guess, give like a 1%, 2%, 3% discount for everybody who buys your product to leave a Trustpilot review. If they leave a Trustpilot review, they get a discount. That's great, brother. You are going to literally pay like a 5% discount, which is basically nothing. And you get a whole Trustpilot review, which is going to increase your conversion rates by like 5%, brother. It's insanity how much social proof just using Trustpilot actually gives. But anyways, quick CTA, even more social proof. Let's see if you're a fit. Now, this is a huge bottleneck in his funnel. He was doing so well, but of course, he had to use the entire whole ass forms, which is a really bad idea. But anyways, what he could be doing here, the reason I say this is because he should be using Typeform. The reason is because nobody wants to fill out this form, man. Like, if you look at this entire form and you see it once, you're going to be overwhelmed, and people are going to be struck with analysis paralysis. And even the small little action of filling out the form is going to be difficult for them. You got to understand that. So even the small action of filling out this form will add friction to your funnel, which will result in less people converting. Now, when is this a good idea? Only in the case when you want more friction. And what friction basically means is more obstacles in the way of somebody buying. Now, when would friction be good is basically those times when you have a lot of clients and you kind of just want to only get the qualified leads out of them. So if you have a lot of unqualified leads, adding friction to your funnel is going to make it way, way better, right? So it's going to make that situation way, way better if you just add friction to your actual funnel. Now, the way you can do this is, of course, through adding in a form like this. You can even use Typeform and add like a descriptive question, blah, blah, blah. A lot of ways to add friction, of course. If you guys want me to make a video about friction and it's in its entirety and everything like that, you can just leave a comment down below. I'll make it about it. It's pretty basic stuff. I'll make a quick 10, 15, 20-minute video about it and explain the entirety of how to add friction to your funnel so you can get the most qualified leads as well. But anyways, next is the client wins, even more social proof. And this just basically takes up 90% of the page. More and more and more social proof, social proof, social proof. And then at the bottom, a video case study, which is just going to go over a ton of case studies in video form. And then there's another link to view more case studies and then a CTA at the bottom. Other than that, that is the entire landing page. And after this, he's just going to funnel you, I'm assuming, into a Calendly or, of course, a calendar booking page. Basic stuff, super simple stuff, and it's not really that overcomplicated. The VSLs are doing most of the heavy lifting. And again, if you want to see a VSL or how to make a VSL that's good, find the video on my channel, AI VSLs. I should link it in the description down below. It should be linked in the description down below. You can check it out down there as well. But anyways, let's go into the second funnel that he actually also has, which is going to be the scaling school funnel. Now, this scaling school funnel is his, I guess, coaching slash info funnel, right? I mean, the other one is kind of an info funnel, but it's more of a done for you systems funnel. But this is more of his info funnel. Scaling school is basically Discover why 1,290 business owners call this the only scaling resource they'll ever need. Get instant access to everything I've learned growing a business profitably from $0 to $25 million in just 4 years. This course and community, again, it's a course and community, obviously, contains all the systems we use for marketing, sales, onboarding, fulfillment, finance, operations, hiring, legal, and so much more. This is a quick VSL about 10 minutes long. It goes into full detail on exactly what's in the actual course inside of the community, everything like that. And then he'll say, plus you'll get over $20,000 worth of no BS scaling playbooks for only $100 a month. And you can also, there, as you can see, this is a quick free trial type of guarantee with a 100% money back guarantee. So you can test drive scaling school for 15 days and then you can get your money back within the next 15 days, which I'm assuming might be a conditional guarantee. I'm not completely sure, but if you are doing some kind of guarantee like this, I would recommend for you guys to do some kind of conditional guarantee, which basically means that you have to attend the courses or you have to attend the calls or you have to be kind of active in the group, and then we're going to give you the refund, because this just protects you from scammers, Karens, and just bad clients in general. What the other industry titans are saying, as you can see, he says what the other industry titans are saying. So he's saying that we are also an industry titan, as you can see. He's also saying I am an industry titan as well. So he's subconsciously raising his level and raising his level of authority as well. More social proof down here. We want to give you $20,000 worth of cutting edge scaling knowledge for only $97 a month. He's value stacking, and of course, he's also price anchoring. And then again, down here is a little bit of just a value stacking again. More value stacking. I'm not going to get into this. It's very, very long. Just a ton of features and everything like that. Selling the product. And down here, another CTA, even more social proof with what other business owners are saying about Ravi. At the bottom, another CTA again and again. He always does these CTAs, and I really like what Ravi's doing with these CTAs. So I really like how he always has CTAs throughout the page to make sure that every single time that you have an inkling to buy, it's ready and like available for you right away, right? Okay, even more value stacking, and then of course, what are you waiting for? Risk free. He's reminding you of the risk reversal. Value. He's also price anchoring even more and value stacking as well. And then finally, what's the catch? He's answering a few objections down at the bottom. Why time is of the essence, etc., etc., etc. And he keeps on repeating this stuff. The main goal of a, I guess, landing page would be more to answer objections. So your main goal of your landing page is to first answer objections and value stack in the client's mind. So that's what he's been doing throughout this landing page. He's been switching in between value stacking plus objection handling regularly. So as you can see, objection handling, value stacking, objection handling, value stacking, objection handling, value stacking. Again and again, he switches in between these two topics constantly to make sure that he hits them home and hammers them home as much as physically possible, because that is your landing page's job. If you can't do that, your landing page is slacking on the job. All right. But anyways, that was Ravi Abuvala's $846,000 per month sales funnel. Hope you got a ton of value from that video. If you did, go ahead and just, DM me on Instagram below the video. If you are interested in working with me, go ahead and check the first link down below the video. DM me on Instagram. We can go ahead and talk. If you are an agency owner, coach, consultant who has an info product who they want to scale, or they have an existing audience that they want to implement an info product into, or of course they are already kind of in the trenches and they've already started their info product, but they need help scaling, or maybe they're plateaued, or maybe they can't make gains as fast as they want, go ahead and just DM me on Instagram down below, links down below the video. We're going to go ahead and talk. It's not going to be some kind of setter or anything like that. I'm just going to talk to you like a real human being. We're going to see if we can help you. We'll then hop on a quick call. If we can, of course, help you, then we're going to go ahead and move forward. Either way, you're going to get a ton of value from that call, no matter what, because I'm going to break down your funnel. I'm going to give you a full funnel audit. And I'm going to tell you the main places where you're lacking or you're leaking leads within your funnel. And then, of course, it's a no-brainer for you because you're going to get value either way, even if we don't work together. Anyways, check the first link down below. DM me on Instagram. But if you don't want to do any of that and you just want to watch another one of my videos, go ahead and check this one out right here because YouTube thinks that you'll like it. If you want to watch the whole funnel breakdowns playlist with upwards of $100,000 worth of sauce, click it down below. And of course, if you do want to, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, which I would appreciate. It's on that corner down there. And of course, if you want to leave a like, it's going to be below the video. Anyways, hoping to see you in this next video. Goodbye.